Caldwell, Helder, Helms, and Robinson Attorneys at Law. And got a special guest in to talk with us this morning. When I looked at the schedule and saw Harold Johnson, I told Stacy, I said, that's not the same. And she said, I think it is. And I said, really?
Really?
What's Harold? She said, he's running for Congress. I said, really?
You said
That's
really
even
again?
harder to believe. Yeah.
You said really again?
No, man. What you been doing with your life since you retired from sports broadcasting?
Hey guys, thank you for being here. First of all, before I answer that, we got to do a special shout out for our good friend Johnny Soul.
Yeah.
And Monroe High. I talked to Johnny yesterday, and the kids are listening today. So kids, you got a championship game coming up tomorrow at Dean's Dome.
Yep.
And this, just enjoy it. I talked to Johnny about how you played the game and how that decision he made after the football situation, when they were working on the perfect season, working on obviously winning a state championship, and a bad call, how it hurt the team and obviously ruined the season. It was over. And the way he handled that, because everybody, fans are fans. Fans get emotional.
Oh, yeah.
And these fans were so upset, naturally so. Nobody likes a bad call, regardless of whether it's high school or professional, college. And he said, guys, hey, that's part of life, and decisions are made. He didn't do it on purpose. That's the way it is. Let it go. And I told him how much I admired that. I said, if I'd have been on the air then, I'd have done 3 minutes talking about you and what great character. And
Yep.
Johnny graduated from Monroe, and he was on a state championship team here as well. So good luck to Monroe High School, Red Hawks. Bring back a championship and enjoy the moment. You kids are listening, I know. And Harold's giving you a shout out here, and do it for yourself. Make yourself proud. Do it for your coach, but just give it your best effort.
Yeah.
And see what happens. All right, Shane, back to what you were saying. I'm sorry. Did you say why?
No. Well, I just said,
Well, what have you been doing
since you retired?
Yeah, I retired a few years ago. Retirement was good. Retirement was wonderful, guys.
Had to go to work then. Everybody says when you retire, you start working.
Well, you do. You're right. But I retired in 2006. And I put my wife in the hospital the day after I retired, and she died 2 weeks later.
Oh, my word.
She had multiple myeloma, and I know a lot of folks are familiar with it. It's we don't know what causes that type of cancer, but they're making great strides, thank goodness, in treating people with that disease. So that's a good thing about, obviously, medicine and research, and we must encourage drug companies to continue their research because they keep people alive. So that's wonderful. My life was then consumed with a lot of gardening and following politics. I've always been fascinated and interested in politics. Sometimes people think, well, if you just do sports, is that all your interests really happen to be? No, not at all. I've been always very, very interested in politics. In 1986, I had a moment in my life when I was at the television station, and the phone rang. I picked up the phone, and it's the White House. So imagine. So you get a call and it says the White House. If you're sitting down, you sit straight up. You guys, JJ, you know what? Even JJ, when I said White House, he just
Harold
stood
thought,
straight
what
up.
I do?
Yeah, I said,
what did I do?
Oh my goodness, what did I do? It's
You're
right.
in trouble now.
And they said, Harold, President Reagan is coming to Charlotte. Would you like to MC the event? And I've known how those things work, because a lot of times you'll get introduced and then they'll just kind of whisk you away, and so you get to really do nothing or see anything or even meet the president. And I said, I'll do it under one condition: I get to meet the president. And they said, you will. And they said that was it. 10 minutes later, the Secret Service calls. Harold, give me your Social Security number.
Oh, Lord.
And we'll see you out there next week. And so I show up, and you can always tell the Secret Service agent, can't you?
Oh, yeah.
You know, don't you? As soon as you see one, you know what. So I'm about 100 yards away when I park, and I see two gentlemen standing. I knew who they were. I walked up to them. They knew who I was, not because of TV, I think, but because they just know everything.
Because they had looked at you under a microscope.
Yes, sir.
That's
You're
right.
exactly right. You're exactly right. And I wasn't worried about them calling back saying, Harold, this is a tainted record you've got here, because I was very fortunate in my 35 years in television. But they gave me a pin and said, here, put this pin on, and you can go anywhere you want, do anything you want. Nobody's going to bother you. And I thought, this is great. So I walk up on the platform. It's the Thurston Aviation over in Charlotte. What was Thurston? It's changed now. But I got up on the stage, and they had the banners and the drapes and everything ready, and it was just so exciting. And I looked down, and they had name tags: President Reagan, Governor Martin, Jim Martin back then, wonderful man, Governor Broyhill or Senator Broyhill, Senator Helms, and on down. There must have been 20 or 25 name tags from the president to the governor to the senators, on down the pecking order, and way down. I was in Charlotte, and I wound up somewhere. I think I wound up at Indian Trail, where my name was, because it was so far down the road. You know, and there's nothing wrong with Indian Trail. Don't get me wrong, but I was way down the pecking order. Okay, right. And so I said, this isn't going to work. So I picked up every name tag sitting from the president. I left the president's, picked up every name tag and moved it down one. Took my name tag and put it right next to the president.
Oh, Lord.
Now, two White House advance people are coming in, and they're looking at it, and they look at me, and they said, Harold, what are you doing? And I just looked at the pin. I said, hey, boys, check out the pin. Back off. Oh, okay, you're fine, you're fine. The president comes out. People are standing. They're cheering. They're roaring. And what an honor to meet this man. And he said, hey, guys, where am I sitting? I said, right next to me, Mr. President. He sat down with me. We sat there for 45 minutes. Now, bear in mind, I'm introducing people. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I introduced Governor Martin, and he finishes. And Senator Broyhill said, Harold, are you going to introduce me? I said, Senator, please introduce yourself. I'm busy. And I was sitting there with Ronald Reagan, the President of the United States. And if you guys are young, you probably don't remember just what a magnificent man he was as far as delivering the message of confidence. And when I looked at him and I said, Mr. President, you're so loved and beloved by the American people. Do you know that? He said, Harold, it's an honor for me to serve the American people. I am truly the one that is honored to have this position. And I said, well, what keeps America great? You've restored the confidence. He said, because you got to let America do what it does, and that is just be free to make decisions. Let people be free to make the decisions for themselves. Keep the government out of their lives. And that really is the essence of what
it stuck with you, didn't it? From 1986 to now.
Oh, absolutely. I've never forgotten it. And what he said was so true. And look at the situation we're in now with the government intruding in all our lives, trying to really butt in. Who knows better to take care of your family than you do and make decisions for your family? It's not the government, guys.
Yeah.
It's you as the individual, you as a parent, you as an adult making decisions, not with the government leaning in and butting in and telling you what to do.
Harold, I have to be honest. When I first was looking at your bio and was finding out you were running for U.S. Congress District 8, I thought, why would he do this? And as I read on, I saw Marine Corps, Camp Lejeune.
Yeah.
Been here since 1958.
That's right.
As far as the health carrying goes, lost your wife to cancer.
Mm-hmm.
It's because you actually have been through it. It's not. A lot of people say there's another celebrity running for office. No, this guy's. Camp Lejeune, Marine Corps, expert marksman, lost his wife to cancer, been here since 58. That's just qualifications.
Well, John, thank you, Shane. That's wonderful for you to say that and to point that out. And when you were talking about cancer, and all of us have been touched by cancer in some form or another. Everybody has. And I noticed in his current health care bill, they are cutting millions and millions of dollars from hospice, a program that truly works and helps everybody. And I'm looking at that and I'm saying, where are we going? What kind of decisions are we making? But the times in the Marine Corps, I spent 4 years in the Marine Corps. I did it with honor. I was honorably discharged. I did it with a great amount of pride because, and any man or woman in the service, and even a civilian would know, you serve with honor, you serve with integrity. And did you serve, JJ?
Mm-mm.
Okay,
because I just look like I did.
Well, you did. Yeah. Well, you got you got the military haircut. And I respect that. You look like you could be a lieutenant now.
Thank you. Wow.
But when you serve, I said yes, sir, to him twice. When you serve in the military, you develop a special bond for your country. You do it. I mean, you're willing to give up your life. You're willing to give up your life for your country, no questions asked. If the sergeant says to you, guys, we're going in here, we're going to take this hill. You charge, and that's what you do, and you do it with honor and dignity. But when you look at your country and look where we're headed today, the direction we're going today, we've got a terrorist alert. We sometimes seem to want to treat terrorists better than we do our own. And we look around, you think, where can anybody tell me they're happy with the situation where we're going, with the direction we're headed in this country today? I defy anybody to tell me that. Forget what party you are. You tell me that you're satisfied with the direction this country is headed today from spending. Out of control spending, guys, putting debt on you guys. You're the young guys, your generation, your children, your grandchildren. Guys, something's got to be done, so stand up. Shane, you said something to me. You said, Harold, why would you jump in here? You worked at a television station. You saw what politics is all about. Why would you jump in to this arena? And Shane, you hit it on the head. It's not easy, but I'll give it my best shot. I hope I win. I hope the folks have confidence in me. Forget that I did 35 years on Channel 9. Our journey is not finished yet. People that watch me know that I was a man of my word, and the next journey now is to go to Washington and be a voice be a voice of good Ronald Reagan conservatism that says stop spending and get the government out of our lives and our pockets.
One of the questions that I wanted to ask you specifically, you referenced the health care bill. Obviously, that's something that's dominating the talk right now, and people talking about looking at the Senate version of the bill, and you're running for the U.S. House, obviously, but just the better part of this year so far has been all about the health care bill.
Unfortunately, it has.
Your thoughts on the bill? I know, obviously, you could go all day on it, probably, like a lot of people could, and really, we could read all day on the bill because it would take us probably a day and a half to read through the entire thing.
Well, most of those in the House and the Senate haven't read it yet.
That's right. That's right. But what's your just overall take on it? Is there any part of it that you actually like, or is it just, you know what, we just need to completely get rid of this thing and start from scratch if we ever do start again?
You said start from scratch, JJ. You hit it, I think, right on the head. The President of the United States just seems to have this notion, and a lot of what he does, he wants to just a one fell swoop to change everything. Change everything.
Seems like change for the sake of change.
Change for the sake of change. Exactly. Just gut the program and just totally modify. No. Do we need to cut waste and fraud? Of course. This government in 2009. I don't want to bore you with numbers, guys. In 2009, waste and fraud and government spending totaled over $100 billion. That got the didn't it? But guys, over $100 billion. Now, the President of the United States, when he campaigned, President Obama said, the days of waste and fraud are over. I'll appoint a special committee to oversee spending. JJ, you're nodding your head. You remember things he said. He never appointed a committee to oversee spending, and we had record waste and fraud, over $100 billion. The health care bill, in addition to cutting millions and billions of dollars as far as benefits for those on Medicare, and also raising taxes $500 billion as well, most of us, and certainly those that are in charge right now in the House and Senate, haven't even read the entire bill yet. So are we going to trust the government to give us the right decision, make the right decision, and give us their word that it'll be okay? Guys, we know better than that.